Here we go, starting Unit 2, which is all about equations and inequalities. Some of this is going to be new for you guys. Some of it's going to be review. So we're going to start with steps to solve a multi-step equation. Before I begin, I just want to give you a friendly reminder to slow me down because I know I talk fast. All right, so our steps to solve a multi-step equation. Our first step is we are going to distribute if we need to. Step 2 is going to be combine like terms. Step 3 would be to solve. And then step 4, I'm going to say, is just a quick check. Does your answer make sense? So, number 1, we don't need to distribute. There's no parentheses for me to distribute. So we're going to combine like terms here. Just a friendly reminder, I want that equal sign lined up. So I want my variable terms on the left and I want my constant terms on the right. So I'm going to combine, and I have a 9x and a negative 7x, which is 2x. Positive 1 and a negative 5 is a negative 4, and that equals negative 20. After we have this, then we just go back to this two-step equation. Remember, I know you can do this in your head. That's not the skill we're testing. The skill we're testing is, are you using the additive inverse properties and the multiplicative inverse properties? So here, to get my constant term on the right-hand side, I have to get rid of this negative 4. I do the additive inverse. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. My equality property comes in because whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Now, additive inverse, it's gone to 0. I bring down my 2x, and it's equal to a negative 16. Be careful of your signs. Here, I need to divide both sides by 2, so I'm left with x equals negative 8. Make sure to box your answers. That's just me. That's what I want. And then we can check. If you're comfortable with combining your like terms, I would just plug in a negative 8 here real quick. So 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Negative 16 and a negative 4 is negative 20. Negative 20 equals negative 20, and so therefore I have the right answer. Okay, let's skip down to, let's do number 4, because I know this is review. So my first step, I do need to distribute. So I'm going to distribute the negative 3. So I have a negative 3k. Remember, do not put down that negative. You don't know if it's negative. You're distributing a negative 3 times a negative 8. So a negative times a negative makes it a positive 24. Here I'm distributing the negative, and I get a negative k, and a negative times a positive is a negative 5. Remember, you can only have one sign in front of each term. Just one. Don't put plus a negative or minus a negative. That's not simplified. So here, I'm going to combine my like terms. I get negative 3k and negative k is negative 4k. A positive 24 and a negative 5 is plus 19. And all that equals 23. So now I want my constant terms on the right. So I need to get rid of this positive 19 by doing negative 19. The equality property says whatever I have to do to one side, I need to do to the other side. This cancels out additive inverse, and you bring down this negative 4k. Over here, we have a positive 4. To get k by itself, we are going to divide both sides by negative 4, and k is going to equal negative 1. Okay? All right, let's take a look at number 5. So here we have 20 on the right-hand side, so I have 20 equals 10x. Now I'm going to distribute this negative 6. Negative 6 times 2x is a negative 12x, and a negative 6 times a negative 5 times a positive 5 is a negative 30. Now that I've distributed, I combine my like terms. So I have 20 here. My equal sign, notice, is lined up. When I combine a 10k and a negative 12k, I get a negative 2x. I'm saying k, but I mean x. You have more negatives than positives, and then negative 30. Now I'm going to bring my constant terms on the left. So to get rid of this negative 30, additive inverse is adding 30. Equality says I have to do it on both sides. And here I have 50 equals, bring down the negative 2x. And to get x by itself, I divide both sides by negative 2. And now I get negative 25 equals x. Now, would you give this to me? No, that's a me thing. I don't want my variable on the right-hand side. I want it on the left-hand side. So what property do you have to do? You have to do the symmetric property. I want my x on the left and my constant term on the right. It still says the same thing. X is still a negative 25, but I want it on the other side. That's symmetric property. Okay, let's do one with a fraction. Ooh, getting kind of crazy. Oh, makes me dizzy. All right. Oh, I lost it. Okay, I'll come back and we'll do one with fraction.